Hello and welcome back to some more Prime Cutz. This time up we've got Jurassic Galaxy from 2018, also known as Jurassic Planet. It all starts with a spaceship exploding and crashing down onto the planet below it. And there's some pretty decent effects going on here. We kind of pick up with, characters struggling out from the wreckage, and there's something nearby. But what is it? It's dinosaurs. Yeah, the effects are pretty good when they're kind of in a shot by themselves. And a bit of the Guardians of the Galaxy font usage there. Yeah, as I was saying, the effects are pretty good when the dinosaurs are by themselves, but when they're sort of in shot with the real life elements, you can tell how much compositing is a skill. And here we have our lead pair and the little kind of probe droid thing, who's pretty cool. It's a nifty enough design. Really on the nose mountain. It's like, why would a mountain be shaped that way? Anyway, they rescue some more people from the ship, including this kind of older gent. And we do some settling in with some quite nice scenery shots. But they soon realise they need to sort of move on because there is apparently a sort of crash pod or a rescue pod that has fallen off the ship that they can head towards. Of course, they do get menaced by the local wildlife. Unfortunate extra is killed off fairly quickly before the others manage to put paid to that particular reptile. Now, as the film goes on, we get some elements that kind of mix in a few different things. You get some elements that are a bit like Pitch Black, with the idea of people sort of crashed on a planet that they don't know. It's definitely got those elements of the characters having some kind of, shady pasts or things that they're not telling each other or they're not being honest about. They even encounter the character here with the sunglasses, who's very similar to the kind of antique stealer character that is in Pitch Black, and another woman that he's sort of paired up with. We get some more kind of walking footage to help pad out the run time here. And eventually, the probe finds the dead body of, I think, the person who's supposed to be this lady's husband. It turns out later on that she's pregnant, which becomes a bit of a plot point. And the characters sort of, over the sort of a bit of time, start to fight with each other. And there is a suggestion that there's something in the planet's atmosphere or some kind of radiation that's being given off by the planet that is kind of making everybody fight with each other. And that's quite an interesting idea, but sadly they don't really develop it much. I do really like the design going on here, though. I like the kind of floating mountains you see in the background there. So there's definitely some imagination going on. But I would say overall, you can kind of tell why this script is being made at this budget level and is not something that's kind of, being picked up by a production house that can really put some budget behind it to really kind of make it shine. After they take some sleep, they get woken up, and here we have the T-Rex that you need to have in every film that has dinosaurs in, because what are you doing if you don't have a T-Rex in your dinosaur film? So they get chased, and eventually they encounter this man who is, we find out, a survivor of another crash that happened earlier on. But he's been on the planet for decades and has gone, kind of slightly mad. She's kind of slightly caveman-ish. He's broken up speech. so we have sort of questions over, should we trust this guy or not? He has saved them, but there is something clearly a bit off about him. So we get these kind of tenser moments. So the next day, the caveman guy goes off with the younger chap on the guise of doing a bit of recon and searching some stuff out, but after some bits of kind of supposedly portentous dialogue, it ends up in a fight between the two of them, and the younger chap ends up getting stabbed and left for dead out in what I'm guessing is the Californian desert. Meanwhile, the others hear some shouts and screams and go out to find out what is going on, but the fight has already sort of happened by the time they get there, and it leaves the caveman guy to go off and effectively kidnap the lady who is pregnant, and basically he plans to make this lady his wife, and raise the son, or raise the child, and of course everybody else is attacked by dinosaurs again, and like I say, you can really tell the difference that kind of compositing makes, where the effects in isolation look okay, but it's just when they're in a frame with anything else, you can tell that they're not really there. You can tell that they don't exist, and that's why Jurassic Park used a lot of animatronics and real life models and things. Yet here we're discovering that the caveman guy has attacked the others and taken the pregnant lady away with him. And some of the cinematography, I have to say, is quite nice. Like this shot, I'd like this shot, the way that this has been framed. It's one of those movies where somebody turns out to be a super tracker. Those super tracker types who can find anybody anywhere. Bit of CGI volcano. Then we have our sort of big dinosaur attack scene. It involves a T-Rex and 3 kind of smaller, I guess, velociraptor type dinosaurs. The main flaw here is a lot of this scene, it's hard to tell where everybody is supposed to be in relation to everybody else, or in relation to the dinosaurs. And then as it gets towards the end, it's not clear what's going on. There appears to be like a T-Rex and then an even bigger T-Rex who seem to scare the other ones away. It's not helped by the fact that the scene appears to have been filmed on, if not 2 separate days, but then at 2 different times of day, and the sort of light levels keep shifting around throughout. But the older gent has been sort of gravely injured, so this gives us the we're not going to leave you, or leave me scene. I will hold up the dinosaurs. So he gets his big sacrifice moment that he gets to make, and you can see there again, like some of these dinosaurs just look like they're floating rather than standing on anything. Anyway, so the rush is on to get to the escape ship, life buoy, whatever you want to call it, the circular thing in the corner there. So there's a sort of confrontation and a standoff with the sort of guy who's been marooned there for decades, but the dinosaurs join in as well. So scuffle. Then the pregnant lady is suddenly capable of kicking dinosaurs and punching out that guy, who of course get the lawyer on the toilet treatment, Jurassic Park style. And the kind of closing moments, the escape party can only fit one person in, so the other two, nominate the pregnant lady to go, and as the film closes, they're, facing down their fate. This film was ambitious for the budget it's got, but overall the script isn't that great. If you put it even aside the sort of effects work, it's got a few good ideas, but doesn't really carry anything sort of through. Like I say, it basically takes Pitch Black and Jurassic Park and puts them in a blender. I think safely can say that you can skip this one. But we'll be back again soon with some more Prime Cutz.